Today we are going to talk about countable and uncountable nouns. Nouns are divided into two types, countables and uncountables. What do you mean by countables? Countable means you can count them. You can say 1, 2, 3. For example, here we have one apple and there we have 3 apples, right? So you can count apples. Uncountables uncountable means you can't count them. For example, milk. Milk cannot be counted, right? Okay, countable versus uncountable nouns. Most nouns have singular and plural forms. They are countable nouns. Example, 1 letter, 2 letters. There is a letter on the table for you. Here it is singular. There are letters on the table for you. Here letters are plural. Some nouns only have one form. They are uncountable nouns. For example, like money. There is no money in my bank account. There is a lot of money in my bank account. Many uncountable nouns refer to substances. Chocolate, water, coffee, milk, sugar, salt, cheese, bread, rice, wood, glass, plastic, soap, toothpaste. Do you have any chocolate? The milk is sour. Let's make cheese. Rice is only edible when it has been cooked. Many uncountable nouns refer to abstract ideas or emotions. Example, love, sadness, happiness, education, knowledge, and grammar. Money can't buy love. We like to experience happiness. This education is priceless. You can use a or an with singular countable nouns. Example, you can say an umbrella, a wheel, a mistake. It's raining, so I need an umbrella. I made a mistake. This is a job for Superman. This is a job for Superman. You can use plural countable nouns alone. Example, apples, bees, clouds. Remember, we can't use a or an before plural. Okay, we can't say an apples. We can't say bees. There are clouds in the sky today. There are bees making honey. We eat apples for breakfast. Again, you can't use an article with uncountable noun. Time, sand, electricity. You can't use a or an before uncountable nouns. We need electricity to use our heater. I lost track of time and we stayed up very late. The beaches in Brazil have very nice sand. It is very common in English to use some or any with plural nouns and uncountable nouns. For example, they don't listen to any advice. We don't have any toys for the children. There are many lessons in life. This is just one more. It's important to have some knowledge of grammar. There are a range of nouns that are uncountable in English but are countable in other languages, like accommodation, advice, baggage, behavior, bread, chaos, damage, furniture, information, luck, luggage, news, permission, progress, scenery, traffic, weather, and work. A or an. We use a for singular nouns and when the noun begins with a consonant. Example, there is a sofa in the living room. We use an for plural nouns and when the noun begins with a vowel. Example, there is an umbrella on the table. We use an when the words start with the consonant H or H because it is not pronounced. Example, I was waiting for an hour. Here we used an because H here is silent or muted. Some and any. Countable nouns. They are nouns which you can pluralize. Egg, eggs, tomato, tomatoes, right? Uncountable nouns, again, they are nouns which you cannot pluralize. Sugar, rice, coffee, milk, etc. Remember that we use some for uncountable and uncountable nouns. You can use some for affirmative answers or sentences. Some is only used in affirmative answers or sentences. Example, there are some chairs, countable. There is some sugar, uncountable. But any is used only in negative and questions. Okay, now let's get to answering this exercise. Exercise A. Countable nouns can be singular or plural. Uncountable nouns refer to abstract ideas or things that cannot be counted. They cannot be used with an indefinite article, a or an, and they cannot be made plural. Look at the sentences below. Which of the nouns is bold? In bold are countable, you are going to write C, and which are uncountable, you are going to write U. Now let's get started. Number 1, the air in cities is dirty and there is rubbish in the street. Number 2, we are looking for accommodation. Is there a hotel nearby? Number 3, there are lots of shops in the center, but business isn't good. Number 4, Jack hasn't got any money, he needs work. Number 5, very important research is done in these two laboratories. Number 6, all the vehicles in the city create terrible traffic. I'm gonna give you like 1 minute to think it over. And here are the answers. Okay, let's move to a piece of advice or a piece of knowledge. Remember, these nouns can be both countable and uncountable depending on their meaning. Okay? For example, experience, an event in your life, or knowledge or skill. Fire, a fire that someone has lit to keep warm, or fire as an element. Glass, a drinking glass. Glass as a material, it is uncountable. Hair, a singular hair, or all the hair on your head, here it's uncountable. Light, an individual light. Light in general as a concept, so light in general as a concept is uncountable. Noise, a distinct or specific sound. Noise all around you. Paper, a piece of paper, or paper as material. Room, a room in a house, or a space in general. So remember, these words can be both countable and uncountable depending on their meaning. Remember, some quantifiers can be used only with countable or uncountable nouns, while others such as some, any, no, lots of, and a lot of can be used with both. Look at the words in bold in the sentences and complete the gaps. Here, as you can see, that few and many can be used with countable nouns. Much and little can only be used with uncountable nouns. Remember, you can use these words before uncountable nouns to refer to singular. For example, a piece of cake, if you want to have one piece of a cake. A carton of milk, a loaf of bread, a cup of coffee, a bowl of soup, a tin of tuna. Okay, now let's answer this exercise. Complete the following text with a suitable quantifier. Okay, let's start. Very few cities in Europe are like Lisbon, Portugal, unique capital. Apart from its distinctive fado music, incredible cuisine, visitors note something else, the amount of graffiti that can be seen across the city. There is something special about much of the graffiti. Lisbon has so many empty buildings that the city asks graffiti artists to decorate them with giant murals. In fact, it is estimated that the number of abandoned buildings just in the city center is over 4,000. Crumbling buildings that were boarded up have come to life again as canvases for many urban artists. Some residents believe that it has brightened up the city center and added to its charm, but others disagree. They have little interest in urban art and would prefer to have no graffiti at all. Thank you very much indeed. By this we came to the end of the class. See you later.